Hi guys, Arik is here and welcome back to the only YouTube channel, as far as I know, dedicated to reading Russian classics in the original. So it is aimed at advanced Russian students, book lovers who love Russian classics. And we are working now on Fyodor Dostoevsky, Маленький герой, a little hero. And I'm gonna be your coach in the next, 15-20 minutes, something like that, to get it close to 100%. So please be focused and have fun. So please open your printed materials. I hope you have it printed. If you don't, then you have a link below this video. But I highly recommend to print it out so that you can underline and mark different new words and write their meanings. And we are talking, first of all, I'll show you where we stopped the last time so that you can find the place. And then I will remind you what this story is about, just for people who have just joined. Just a second. So look guys, you need to find the sentence starting with "Возле блондинки." You can do it by pressing Ctrl F and printing the word "возле", and then it will give it to you. "Возле блондинки." And we are talking here about an 11-year-old boy who is telling the story, so he's the narrator, and he was invited to a very, very rich party nearby Moscow, very glamorous, shining party, where he basically felt some kind of an attraction for a young lady. But he's just 11 years old, so for him it's something new and something unknown. And last time we learned how he had met the lady. So it was, just reminding you, it was in a theater, like home theater, and he didn't have a place to sit. And so he was obliged to come, and so he came to the first few rows, and there he saw that lady. And last time, basically, he mentioned that she had чудно округленные, look here, чудно округленные, соблазнительные плечи. Do you remember what it meant? It meant miraculously round, tempting shoulders, etc. And but after that, probably he doesn't want us to think too much that he was tempted by that, and he said, мне решительно все равно было смотреть, so I didn't care what to look at her shoulders or at an elderly lady, sorry. And so basically that's where we stopped. If you want more details, please watch the previous lesson. And we continue. Возле блондинки сидела перезрелая дева. Одна из тех, которые, как случалось мне потом замечать, вечно ютятся где-нибудь как можно поближе к молоденьким и хорошеньким женщинам, выбирая таких, которые не любят гонять от себя молодежь. Interesting sentence. So let's go over the vocabulary, and just for the newcomers, I'm not explaining every word because it is aimed at advanced students. So I'm just clarifying the words that are a little bit rare or obsolete or higher level. So for example, перезрелая дева. Deva means it's a kind of an obsolete word for an unmarried lady. Yeah, so that's deva. And перезрелая means overripe. Overripe lady. So overripe in the sense that she didn't get married. Одна из тех means one of those. Которые, which, that. Как случалось мне потом замечать. So замечать means to know, to notice. Как случалось мне, please underline this whole expression, as I happened to. Because как means as, случалось мне, I happened to. Therefore, he is saying, как случалось мне потом замечать. How would you translate that, you know? As I happened to notice later. Because потом means later. Вечно means all the time. Вечно. Вечно, it might also mean like eternally. But here it's just all the time. Ютятся где-нибудь. So ютятся, it means just remain or located. So he's talking about those overripe women, unmarried women in general, and he's telling that they вечно ютятся. So basically always present. So ютятся, in this case, you can underline it and write present. In other cases, it might be a little bit different meaning. So вечно ютятся, always present. Где-нибудь как можно поближе, so that's clear. К молоденьким и хорошеньким женщинам, выбирая таких, so choosing those. Yeah, so they are getting close, they are remaining close to the young and nice women. Lovely women, выбирая таких, choosing those, которые не любят гонять от себя молодежь. So those, выбирая таких, которые, first of all, if it's not clear to you what it means, so then just underline, выбирая таких, которые, choosing those who. Не любят, don't like, гонять от себя, so гонять от, in this case, push away from. Push away from. Гонять от себя. Push away from herself or from themselves. And молодежь means the youth or young people. Now, we're going to combine this puzzle together. Just follow me and don't lose your patience. You will have lots of fun. Возле блондинки сидела перезрелая дева. Nearby the blonde, he's meaning the blonde girl that he liked, sat, сидела, перезрелая дева, overripe lady, like дева, unmarried lady. Одна из тех, которые, как случалось мне потом замечать, one of those who, as I happened to notice later, вечно ютятся где-нибудь, all the time, present, somewhere, как можно поближе, as close as possible, к молоденьким и хорошеньким женщинам, as close as possible to the young and lovely ladies, выбирая таких, которые, choosing those who, не любят гонять от себя молодежь, choosing those who don't like to push away from themselves young people. Now, I'm going to read it again, guys, because it's a little bit complicated sentence. I'm gonna read it in Russian and then translate all of it in English. And by the way, if you still have something that is unclear, no problem at all. You just put this particular phrase or word or sentence in the comments, and we are going to clarify it next time. No problem at all. We're here together in this endeavor. So, возле блондинки сидела перезрелая дева, одна из тех, которые, как случалось мне потом замечать, вечно ютятся где-нибудь как можно поближе к молоденьким и хорошеньким женщинам, выбирая таких, которые не любят гонять от себя молодежь. Nearby the blonde sat an overripe unmarried lady. One of those who, as I happened to notice later, always present, somewhere, as close as possible to the young and lovely ladies, choosing those who do not like to push away from themselves the youth. Okay, so, and I'm completely aware that English in my translation was not perfect, but I tried to do it as close to the Russian original as possible, and keeping it still normal and understood, comprehensible. But we continue. Но не в том дело. Только эта дева подметила мои наблюдения, нагнулась к соседке и, хихикая, пошептала ей что-то на ухо. Но не в том дело, please underline this whole phrase, and it means, but that wasn't the point. Because дело here means point. Но не в том дело, but that wasn't the point. Только эта дева подметила мои наблюдения. So подметила means noticed. And let's see what kind of, so you see we had замечать, to notice, but подметила, it's another, подметить, it's another word for notice, and that's the past tense, feminine, right? So подметила, noticed, мои наблюдения. Наблюдения means observations. So when he's saying только эта дева подметила мои наблюдения. So that wasn't the point, but that lady, a married lady, noticed my observations. So observations, what kind of observations he's talking here? Like his thoughts about that young lady, how tempting she was, that we learned at the last lesson. So, подметила мои наблюдения, нагнулась к соседке. So, нагнулась means bent her body. And соседка, you know it as neighbor, but here it means a woman sitting next to her in a row, in a theater. So she bent to her neighbor, like next to the lady next seat from her. И хихикая means giggling. Yeah, хихикать means to giggle. So хихикая and giggling, прошептала, whispered, ей, to her, что-то, something, на ухо. Прошептала ей что-то на ухо. So she whispered to her something in her ear. So because ухо means ear, but на ухо means in the ear. So he's saying, но не в том дело, but that's not the point. Только эта дева подметила мои наблюдения. Only that that lady noticed my observations. Нагнулась к соседке, bent to her neighbor, и хихикая and giggling, прошептала ей что-то на ухо, whispered to her something in the ear. Соседка вдруг обернулась, и помню, что огневые глаза ее так сверкнули на меня в полусумраке, что я, неприготовленный к встрече, вздрогнул, как будто обжегшись. Beautiful. I really, really like his language. Соседка, so the neighbor meaning the girl next, the woman next seat from her, from that old lady. Not old, but like overripe, yeah? So соседка вдруг means suddenly, обернулась, turned back. Огневые глаза. So огневые comes from огонь, which means fire. So огневые means fiery. The usual word would be огненные, but that's probably either an obsolete or, actually it's an obsolete or just literary, yeah? But you would, in normal speech, you would use огненные глаза. But that's огневые глаза, like her fiery eyes. Так сверкнули на меня, so сверкнули means sparkled. So сверкнули на меня, sparkled at me. В полусумраке. So полу means half, and сумрак means twilight. So полусумрак Полусумрак basically means like dim light. So полусумрак. So her fiery eyes so sparkled at me in the dim light, что я неприготовленный к встрече. Неприготовленный к встрече would be not ready for the meeting, because неприготовленный, да? Приготовленный ready. Встреча meeting. Вздрогнул. So вздрогнул means shuddered. Yeah? Shuddered. Or like flinched. Как будто обжегшись. So как будто means as if. Обжегшись comes from обжечься, which means to burn. So как будто обжегшись, it means as if being burned, because обжегшись relates to the person himself. So it comes from обжегся, yeah, like burned himself, so обжегшись. So it's as if being burned or burning myself. So let's see. Соседка вдруг обернулась. So the neighbor suddenly turned back. И помню, что огневые глаза ее так сверкнули на меня в полусумраке. And I remember that her fiery eyes so sparkled at me in the dim light, что я, неприготовленный к встрече, вздрогнул. That I, not ready for the meeting, shuddered, как будто обжегшись, as if being burned. Красавица улыбнулась. That's easy. The young beauty smiled. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. Now I'm gonna read this whole passage. And you're gonna, as usual, surprise yourself with your comprehension. We are starting from here with возле блондинки. Возле блондинки сидела перезрелая дева. Одна из тех, которые, как случалось мне потом замечать, вечно ютятся где-нибудь, как можно поближе к молоденьким и хорошеньким женщинам, выбирая таких, которые не любят гонять от себя молодежь. Но не в том дело. Только эта дева подметила мои наблюдения, нагнулась к соседке и, хихикая, прошептала ей что-то на ухо. Соседка вдруг обернулась, и помню, что огневые глаза ее так сверкнули на меня в полусумраке, что я, неприготовленный к встрече, вздрогнул, как будто обжегшись. Красавица улыбнулась. Okay, guys, thank you very much. If you need Russian coaching to get your Russian to really, really high level in terms of speaking, comprehension, etc., whatever you need, you can contact me by email below this video, and I'll explain how it works. It is a very interesting process, and it has several components. So I'll be happy to relate to you what I know, and it's gonna be lots of fun and lots of progress on your part. And I'll see you at the next lesson. Ciao, ciao.